Well, hello, guys. Welcome to a play-in chat. It's just me hanging out for the evening, so I thought, you know, Anne's hanging out with Corey tonight, so I thought I'd do a little play-in chat here. Just give you guys an update on how things... I actually started a few minutes before we went live here. I bought in for 2 billion. I'm at 1.92 right now, so I haven't really won any hands since I started, but I only started a few minutes ago. By the way, how are you guys doing? Are you guys able to see and hear me okay? Can you guys just fire into the live chat if you can see and hear me okay? That way I know where I'm at. Just let me know how we're doing. Okay. Yeah, I folded out of this. All right, Thomas, Raul, Mr. Grant. By the way, hello to everybody. Craig, Ange, Coop, TV, Maxi S, everybody. Hello, guys. Thanks for joining me in here tonight as I'm doing a little bit of play and chat. Just hang out. We'll talk about whatever. By the way, guys, the play and chat is done a little bit different. If you want to send in like a tip, don't use the regular like tip link that we use for the John Campea Show. Just use the super chat feature for this video. That way I don't get them mixed up, because that's happened to me before. And when we don't have any super chats sitting there, by the way, thank you to everybody who does super chat for supporting the channel. But when we don't have super chats lined up and waiting, I will just go over to the live chat board and see what we've got going on there. All right, I'm already big blind, so I'm in. I wouldn't normally play King 5, but I was already in for big blind, so all I had to do is check. So this is already terrible. This is already terrible. Yeah, I'm going to fold. I'm going to get out of this here. So how's everybody doing tonight? I've had, you guys, you would not believe, oh, Ace Jack, that's all right. You would not believe the weekend I've had. You would not believe the weekend I've had. It has been crazy. I'm going to raise this up. It has been crazy. Craig saying, great episode this morning. Thank you, Craig. I suppose, or Kagi. Kaigi? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but thank you for that. We had, oh, and there it is. Top pair. I'll take that. I don't expect... She called. Now there's potential straight, but she might just have a flush draw. I mean, she might have pocket queens. But if she has pocket queen, if she has any queen right now, I'm dead. Also, if she has a king, I'm dead. If she has an 8... well, I might as well just call... She probably hit a straight. She's probably got a king. Oh, she had the exact same hand as me. Chop pot, I'll take it. When there's a 9, 10, jack, queen on the board, I will take a chop every day. That is what I will take. I will absolutely take that. So I'll fold that here. So anyway, yeah, Anne and I, for those of you who didn't see the post that I put up on this, Anne and I have been trying to buy a house, right, for like a year and a half. And twice... it looked like we bought a house, we made offers, it got accepted, but then when we went to inspection, we found like big problems with the house, and so we got out of both of those deals. So it's like been a year and a half of no luck. So this weekend, we came across a house that just came up on the market, and what we decided, and it looked amazing. I'm not going to play 5-6, and it looked amazing. But the problem was, it was like a kind of a private sale, and the guy needed offers like within 24 hours. So Anne and I got in the car, like drove an hour to where the house is, looked at the house, then had to start talking to our agent, then talking to their agent, reviewing old inspection reports on the house, getting in touch with our bank and for financing and all this kind of stuff. And it was just a madhouse. Like for 48 hours, it was like a total madhouse. And it finally ended with last night, Anne and I putting in an offer, and it got accepted. So we made an offer and they accepted it. But now we have to do a couple of days of inspections. Ooh, wait, I got a straight flush draw here. I don't get these often. Give me a second. I have a straight flush draw. Any diamond, well, any 6 gives me a straight. Any diamond gives me a flush. But a 6 of diamonds gives me a straight flush, which is very, very, very rare. So I'm going to call the 50, just see what happens. Any 6, any diamond, but the 6 of diamonds would be premium. All right, let's see what we get here. 3, 4, 5. No, I still need a 6 or a diamond. 75 million. Ah! Oh, I wish he bet more so I could fold, but I'm not going to fold. And I missed it. No 6, no diamond, no straight, no flush. I'm just going to check and bow out. He'll see that I had a straight flush draw. Straight flush draw. Totally missed it. Anyway, wasted some money there. So anyway, so they accepted, but now we have to do a couple of days of inspections and see if there's anything wrong with the house. Because like I said, in the last year and a half, we got 2 houses that we made offers on, got accepted. At least a dozen houses we made offers on that didn't get accepted because other people outbid us. But twice we've had offers accepted, and twice we've had to walk away from it because when we did the inspections, we found that there were major problems with the house. So we will now find out in the next couple of days. But if nothing goes wrong with the house inspections, Ann and I will finally have gotten ourselves a house. So it'll be, we haven't had a house our entire marriage. I mean, I personally have never owned a home. I've never owned a house. So, and let alone in the States. So this is like a totally new thing for me. So yeah, it was a very, very, very weird couple of days. Very weird couple of days. So anyway, looking in here, Dada Axel Show is saying, did you hear about Universal's deal with Cinemark? I did hear about it. But I need to look at the fine details because we talked about Cinemark last week, I think. We talked last week about the fact that Cinemark was looking at making the deal with Universal, but at the time, it sounded like they were going to do it on a film-by-film basis, and it would only be temporary. Like, it wouldn't be a permanent ongoing deal. Ugh, that's no good. I mean, I guess a 5 gives me a straight. A club gives me a flush, but I would have the worst flush. So yeah, I'm not going to call 325 million. So anyway, when the report that came out last week about... I'm not going to play Ace Rag. About Cinemark and Universal was... Cinemark could do it on a film-by-film deal. It wouldn't be a cover, an all-covering sort of deal like AMC's deal was. And it also was making it sound like it was specifically going to be for a finite period of time that they could then, get out of the deal after the COVID pandemic passes. So I saw the headline today that Cinemark went ahead and made a deal with them, but I don't know what the details of the deal are. So I'm going to be reading more into that later tonight. I'll read more into that. And then we'll know more about it when we do the show tomorrow. So yeah, I've looked into it. I mean, I haven't looked into it. I just saw the little headline of it. So we'll see what the details are. It's the devil's in the details, man. The devil's in the details. See, I like these little suited connected hands. Like 6, 7, stuff like, especially when they're suited. But because a lot of, see, now all of a sudden I've got a flush draw. This is interesting. So if somebody bets, it depends, 25, I'll call 25 million, $162 million pot with a flush draw. Yeah, I'll call that. Let's see what happens. Man, I missed. All right, I'll get out of the hand. They just had ace high, but it was better than my hand. 9-5. I am not going to play that. I'm not going to play 9-5. So anyway, so between that and the house, and I've also been wrestling with myself pretty mightily. I've been wrestling with myself pretty mightily on the issue of the new Macs. Because, I mean, I talked about it on the show earlier this week, but I'll tell you guys, I've been looking up, I've been sitting when I'm in front of my TV, all I have usually open is YouTube. And I've been going through like every video possibly imaginable about these new Macs with the M1 processors. So they're putting out 3 new Macs, for those of you who missed it. They're going to put out a brand new MacBook Air, a brand new 13-inch MacBook Pro, and the Mac Mini. And all of them are going to come with the same exact processor. It's the M1 processor. That looks absolutely unbelievable. Now, I have a MacBook right now. I am a fan of Mac computers, although my main workstation here, my main workstation computer is actually a PC. I just need such a huge elaborate setup. So I used to have an iMac. I loved my iMac, but I needed to get a PC because to get the Mac that I would have needed was going to cost me like $5,000, and I didn't have $5,000 to spend on a computer. So I ended up getting a PC, and I really like my workstation. So my current workstation is a PC, but I am a big fan of Macs. And these new M1 chips, man, I'm telling you what, I am so tempted to just go ahead and order one. But it is, the one I would want to get is the 13-inch MacBook Pro with 16 gigs of RAM and like the 512 hard drive. And that's going to run like $1,600 or $1,700. I'm not going to play 610. $1,600 or $1,700. And you know, that's not cheap. That's not cheap. As Rob would say, you could buy, 7 Hot Toys for that. And he wouldn't be wrong. Maybe 6 or 7 Hot Toys for that. And yeah, but it is what it is. Okay, let's see. This game has not been going well for me. So I started off, you can see under my name here, I've got 1.56 billion in chips right now, but I started with 2 billion. So I have not won any hands so far. I keep looking. Anyway, guys, sorry. I see a whole bunch of you are firing things in there. I will go over and pick 1 or 2 things out from the live chat. If you want to make sure I get your thing, just use the super chat feature and it'll pop up under my screen. So I will catch that and give that priority. But let me look over right now. Somebody is writing. What is Alton Wang write? Did you hear about the Harry Styles dress controversy? Who gives a shit about that? Sorry, no offense, Alton. No offense, but who gives a shit about that? I certainly don't give a shit about that. Let's see. Neo Braveheart writes, pity I don't like Macs. Here's the thing. There's been this, religious, for as long as I can remember, there's been this religious, fever, war between Mac users and PC users, likened unto Marvel and DC fans, right? And people are passionate on each side. And I don't know what y'all are smoking. Mac makes awesome computers. I don't care whatever kind of drivel somebody tries to sell you. Mac makes awesome computers. And I don't care what a hardcore Mac fan will tell you. Some PCs, certainly not all PCs, but some PCs are freaking awesome. My PC desk setup here, my main workstation here, is absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's great. And a lot of times, for a lot of the core users, they'll do the exact same things for productivity. Now, if you're a gamer, then yeah, you can play games on Macs, yes, but let's face it, the biggest compatibility is PC. So if you're primarily a gamer and that's your main thing in life, then there's no decision to be made, right? It's a PC. That's the only choice you really have. Unless you only play World of Warcraft, in which case you can play on both. But really, if you're a hardcore gamer, PC is the only choice you have. But when it comes to productivity and actual work, man, Macs are outstanding. I have been, editing, for example, editing video and stuff like that for a lot of years. And you know what here's the thing, my desktop PC right now is a 8-core i9. All right. I've got an 8-core i9. I've got 64 gigs of RAM in this baby. I've got, right now I have, how many terabytes? I've got 32 terabytes of storage hooked up to it and all that kind of stuff. Do you know which one of my computers renders 4K video the absolute fastest right now? It's not this computer. This computer is not the one that is rendering out the fastest the fastest renders for me right now. The computer of mine that is actually rendering 4K, multiple streams of 4K video the fastest right now is actually my iPad Pro. Listen, I wish I was joking. I'm not joking. My iPad Pro actually renders out a multi 4K clips, several layers of video. It actually renders it faster when I use a little video editing program on my iPad Pro called LumaFusion. It will actually render faster than the machine that I'm using right now, my 8-core i9. Now, I will still use my 8-core i9 for all my video editing because I got all the screen real estate, I got all my apps on here. It's just a better work environment. But I mean, when your iPad can render see, I told you I like these little suited connectors. When your iPad can render things out like that, and these M1 chips are like massive upgrades to the iPad chips, that's really saying something. So I'm a fan of both. I've got PCs, I use Macs. I can't call here, unfortunately. And yeah, it is what it is. All right. Listen, we got a super chat came in from Leech Live Reactions, who writes, I'm excited for HBO Max's next movie, No Sudden Move, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Stellar cast, especially having Brendan Fraser. I'm not familiar with it. No Sudden Move. Hold on, let me see if I can look this up here. No. Well, first of all, let me. I like this too. King 9 suited. I'll try that out. No Sudden Move. Yeah, I'm not. That one doesn't. I don't recognize one off the top of my head. Matt Damon's in it as well. Ooh. You know, I'm gonna put in a little bet. See if I can get people to fold. If not, oh, somebody raised. They might already have a straight. Okay, I'll call another 50. See because if I can hit this flush. Ooh, so they raised. They could have 2 pair. Now they could have a boat, theoretically. And I'm going to bet, see if they call. Oh, they raised. So they got a 5, so I'm toast. All right, fold. Awesome. That was a good check, because his check made me think he might be weak, which is exactly what he wanted me to think. Let's see here. Getting back to this movie, No Sudden Move. A group of criminals that are brought together under mysterious circumstances and have to work together to uncover what's really going on when their simple job goes completely sideways. Sounds like a movie I've seen 1,000 times, but still, Steven Soderbergh's directing it. Brendan Fraser, Noah Jupe, Matt Damon, John Hamm is in it. Kieran Culkin, David Harbour, Ray Liotta, Benicio del Toro, Don Cheadle. Holy crap. Okay. Sign me up. This sounds pretty good. I'm on board with this. Fold. I'm not going to call King 6. That sounds pretty good to me. I'm on board for that. Yeah. And look, with HBO Max, here's the thing. I am very impressed with HBO. First of all, I think HBO is like the king of making on a consistent basis. HBO, in my opinion, makes the best content on a consistent basis. That's not to say that Netflix doesn't have some absolutely killer content. I'm not going to play 7-4. That Netflix doesn't put out some absolutely killer content. They absolutely do. But like, Netflix also cranks out a lot more content, and HBO doesn't put out as much, but it's just more consistently great. You know what I mean? But I gotta say, when I think of HBO and HBO Max, I don't think of their original movies. Like, when I think of HBO and HBO Max, I think of their series, right? That's what I think of. And they continually just put out really great series. So looking forward to it. But this, I mean, look at the cast of this movie, Leech Live. I mean, just look at the cast of this movie. It's absolutely insane. It's incredible. So yeah, I want to get me some of that. I definitely want to get me some of that. Anyway, here, 3, 2. I like these little suited connected cards. I'm going to try. I'll see what happens. See if I can see a flop. And it's a terrible flop, so I'm going to fold this. And now, I might have said this. The reason I like suited connectors, and I hear different people in poker say different things, but I don't know. To me, these little suited connector cards like 2, 3, you won't often hit on a flop, but the thing is, if you hit, you generally hit strong. They're sneaky little cards, but they're also very easy to get away from. Like, it's not like a pocket jack situation where, like, it's difficult for people to let pocket jacks go, even when the flop, whatever, doesn't really go their way. Whereas like these little suit connectors, 6, 7, 3, 2, things like that, if you hit, you'll normally get paid off really well. If you miss, really easy to get away from. No, I'm not going to call 100. He raised 100. And just as well that I folded. All right. Let me look over here. See, Axel Show writes, Freaky opened to 3.7 million. Is that good? First of all, Freaky is a movie that I am very excited to see. I'm very, very excited to see Freaky. The trailer came out. I think you guys might, if you guys saw the episode, I'm not going to play Queen 7. If you guys saw the episode when the trailer came out and Aaron and I watched it, it's like that trailer came out of nowhere, and for whatever reason, I just found it absolutely delightful. Like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. So I've been very anxious to see it. So it opens to 3.7 million. Is that good? Well, if there was no pandemic right now, it would, and all theaters were open and everybody was going to movies as normal right now, then 3.7 million opening would be horrendous. It would be absolutely a dreadful opening. Speaking of dreadful, I am not going to play 6-2 offsuit. It would be like there's just no getting around it. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely horrible. But given that there is this big pandemic, and given that not a lot of people are going to the theaters, and given there's a lot of theaters and major things like New York, LA, stuff like that, given all that, I'm also not going to play Ace 3. Given all of that, 3.7 million for a little movie like Freaky? That ain't bad, actually. I mean, all things considered. But that's the catch, isn't it? It's all things considered. Under normal circumstances, yeah, 3.7, nah, no good at all. It's just absolutely quite terrible. Quite terrible. But for a pandemic era thing and all that kind of stuff, really not bad. Really not bad, actually. So I'm looking forward to seeing, look, I have gone to movie theaters. I said this on the show, on the John Campea Show. I have gone to movie theaters twice during the pandemic. Once in Las Vegas, once in Orange County. And I'm not going to play Jack 8. And both times, my experience was great. I think the safety protocols they had at the theaters were fantastic. I felt far more safe actually in those movie theaters than I did in the grocery store. And I feel pretty safe in the grocery store, but I felt even more safe in these movie theaters. But I mean, with the spikes, with these massive spikes, I'm not going to play 5-10 out of position. With these massive spikes in the virus, and now we're getting like 1 million new cases every 10 days, and we're so close to getting vaccine. I've just been hesitant to actually, even me, who's pretty comfortable with going to the movie theaters right now because I find it pretty safe and secure. I'm not going right now, so I'm going to hold out a little while longer before I go. So, but I'm glad to hear it did pretty good. Again, 3.7, I think all things considered is not terrible, especially for a little movie like this. I am not going to call $100 million raise with a 10-4. All right, we got another super chat came in from Chris Miner. And Chris Miner writes, just rewatched The Office for the millionth time. The finale is absolutely great. What is your favorite sitcom series finale? Ooh, favorite sitcom series finale. Okay, so first of all, it's really, series finales at all are really, really hard. I mean, there are far more bad series finales, even for great shows. There are far more bad series finales than there are good series finales. I just, this is the way it is. One of my I think my all-time favorite series finale, not sitcom though, my all-time favorite series finale still to this day is, $287 million raise? Nope. Still to this day, my all-time favorite series finale was Star Trek The Next Generation. the All Good Things episodes. It was in 2 parts, All Good Things, where they brought the whole show back around full circle to the very first encounter with Q at Waypoint Station, or Faraway Station. I can't remember the name of the station, but that was the name of the opening episode. And it was a terrific episode. Just fabulous, and just a great way to end the series, right? Fabulous way to end the series. To really highlight how difficult it is for even the best of shows to nail the series finale, look no further than Seinfeld. Like, Seinfeld is one of the greatest TV shows of all time. I'm not going to call 125 million. I am getting terrible cards. Like, terrible cards. Anyway. Seinfeld is one of the greatest movies, or greatest television shows of all times. Like, one of the greatest television shows of all time. And that finale is like one of the worst television series finales ever. One of the worst television series finales ever. Like, ever. It's just terrible. So for sitcoms, Parks and Rec was pretty good. The Parks and Rec one was pretty good. I'm trying to think some other ones. Family Ties finale was actually pretty good. I know some people that didn't like it, but I thought it was pretty good. You know what? I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think The Office is probably the best sitcom series finale ever. It's a great thing. I mean, the one big thing that bothered me about the Office series finale was the fact that they got Steve Carell back. They had Michael Scott there, and he literally had 2 lines. Like, 2 lines. He was the show. And you got him back for the finale, and they gave him 2 lines. I mean, and they were great lines. It's like coming to see your children get married. I mean, it was great, and of course that's what she said thing. So that was also great. But yeah, I'm gonna go with unless I'm forgetting one, I'm gonna go with The Office is the best series finale. Okay, here we've got a couple of more here. Mark Newman writes, planning to play and chat Star Wars Squadrons. No, I've played a lot of little Star Wars Squadrons. It's pretty good, but it's not really a game you can do play and chat with. At least not really. Hold on a second, King Jack. This is the best hand I've had. This is the best hand I've had. So let me just see how I do here. The problem with Squadrons is you can't do a play and chat with it because you're just too engaged. Like with something like World of Warcraft, I gotta fold. With something like World of Warcraft or something like online poker or something like that, it's a lot easier to be able to engage and have conversations and all that kind of stuff. When you're playing a game like Squadrons or like a Call of Duty or an Unreal or whatever, it's a lot more difficult to do that. So I probably won't do a play and chat with Star Wars Squadrons. Probably not, but that's why. All right, next up, Tarek Sandhu writes, what do you think of The Crown on Netflix? Actually, Ann and Corey are downstairs right now. I kid you not. Ann and Corey are downstairs right now, binge watching the entire new season of The Crown. I like The Crown. I mean, I never got as hooked on it as Ann and Corey did. They got massively hooked on it. But from what I watched of it, like I watched most of the first 2 seasons when Claire Foy was played the Queen. I thought it was really good. And I watched one episode of it last night with Ann and Corey, and it's the girl from X-Files, Gillian Anderson, is that her name? Anyway, the girl from X-Files is playing Margaret Thatcher in it, and that was a good episode. And so yeah, I like it. I'm not hooked on it like a lot of other people, but I like The Crown. All right, let's see what's next here. AJ writes, how would you rank the 2nd season of Doom Patrol, The Umbrella Academy, and The Boys from best to worst? Why did I just call with 10-4? I thought it was, anyway, I got distracted there. That's what happens when you call with 10-4. You're going to lose. How would I rank them? I enjoyed all of them. I thought they were all great. I actually thought all of them may be even better than the first seasons. I thought the second season of Doom Patrol was better than the first. I thought the second season of Umbrella Academy was probably better than the first. And I thought The Boys' second season was probably better than the first. They were all great. So how would I rank them? I don't know, man. That's tough. They're such three completely different shows, and I thoroughly enjoyed them all. But I don't know. I might totally answer this question differently tomorrow if you ask me the same question tomorrow. But I will say for now, and the difference will be this much. For now, I'll say The Boys Season 2 was the best. Umbrella Academy Season 2 was the second best by that much. And then also by that much, I'll say Doom Patrol Season 2 was the third best. But they were all great. Like I thought they were all great personally. So that's just me. All right, let's see here. Arkanize writes, finally started watching Schitt's Creek. Wow, I'm so glad you did. How great. Actually, earlier tonight when Ann and I were having dinner, and Ann made dinner tonight, and we just popped on a random episode because we've binged all of Schitt's Creek in about 2 or 3 weeks. I was really late to the game on Schitt's Creek. We only started watching it about a month ago. And like in 2 to 3 weeks, we binged the whole thing. And so now we just kind of pop on a random episode once in a while. So we watch it. It is honestly... Look, I need to give it more time. But without exaggeration, I think it's a top 5 best show ever made. It's that good. I think it just may be a top 5 show of all time. That's how good I think Schitt's Creek is. It's just brilliant. It's hilarious, but heartfelt and charming. And there's a reason. What got my attention about Schitt's Creek and what made me finally start watching it was that it won everything at the Emmys. I've never seen it happen before. It won Best Writer, Best Show, Best Director, Best Supporting Actress, Best Lead Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Lead Actor. It won everything. And Dan Levy, Eugene Levy's son, he became the first guy in Emmy history to win the 4 major Emmys all in the same year. Daniel Levy won Best Show with his dad, because his dad and him are the creators of the show. He won Best Director for Comedy Series. He won Best Writer for a Comedy Series. And he won Best Supporting Actor in the Comedy Series. He won Best Show, Best Director, Best Writer, Best Supporting Actor, all in the same year. Never been done before. Never been done before. And it feels weird to say some quirky little, for all intents and purposes, sitcom as a top 5 show of all time. Because if you think about top 5 shows of all time, you're thinking of shows like Battlestar Galactica, or you're thinking of shows like Breaking Bad, or you're thinking about shows like Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy is one that I would put out there. But those are the kinds of shows you think of. Not some quirky little sitcom. But I'm telling you, Schitt's Creek is that good. And here's one of the really impressive things about it. They have a gay character in the show. Well, Dan Levy plays a gay character. He's also gay in real life, but he plays a gay character in the show, right? I have never seen a movie or TV show about a gay character where them being gay isn't a part of the struggle. Like, whenever you got a lead character in a TV show or a movie that's gay, every single time, and I'm not banging on them for this, it's fine, I'm just saying every single time, part of the drama that's going to come up is somebody going, is it's difficult for them because they're gay. In Schitt's Creek, it's just, yeah, that guy's gay. Him being gay is never a part of the struggle. It's never a part of anything he has to face. It imagines the world where people just accept and love each other, and there it is. And the show, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to misrepresent it. The show is not a gay show. It's not about being gay. That's not what the show is. It's about a family. And it's about these incredibly wonderful, amazing characters. and, you know, one of the leads is a gay character, but they just look at it in the world the way it kind of should be, where that dude is just there doing his thing. I mean, I don't know. There's something great about it, but you know what? And I take it back. I think maybe my favorite sitcom finale might be the Schitt's Creek finale, because it's the one where Dan gets married. It's incredible. It's really incredible show. Anyway, Arkanize, I'm glad you had a chance to start watching it. Okay, next up here. We got Chris Warden, who writes in my opinion, Showtime has come a long way in the last decade or so as well. They had a bunch of great shows that I put against a lot of HBO or Netflix shows. Showtime has had a good lineup of great shows. Actually, I was watching Ray Donovan for the longest time. Ray Donovan had a couple of weird seasons, and frankly, I liked Ray Donovan less. I'm big blind with Ace 8. Maybe I can actually play this one. As long as nobody raises, I get to play this hand. Please don't raise. 50. I'll call 20. I'll call him in raise. Let's see what happens here. But, ugh. What an awful flop for me. Yeah, I'm going to fold that. So, Ray Donovan, for any of you who watched Ray Donovan for me lost a step when it left LA and went to New York instead. For me, it lost a step. I don't know. I just I like the whole feel of Ray Donovan a lot more when it was based in Los Angeles, when it was based in LA. But Showtime, you're right. They have actually had. I just think overall HBO still takes the lead, but yes, Showtime should not be overlooked. You're absolutely right. Again, my absolutely dreadful cards continue here. Queen 6. This is terrible. So I'm at 900 million right now, but I started with 2 billion. So I've lost a little over half my chips already. This has not been the best session, but I'm getting no cards. This is horrible. Anyway, okay. Leech Live Reactions writes, how do you think the last season of Shameless will pan out? Don't know. Never watched the show. It's not true. I think in season 1, I watched a couple of episodes, but I can't even remember anything about it. I love William H. Macy, but so I can offer absolutely no opinions about how I think Shameless will end because I know absolutely nothing about Shameless. Again, that's not me bagging on the show, not at all. I just don't watch it, so I don't know anything about it. But any of you guys in the live chat, if any of you guys watch Shameless, go ahead and give Leech Live your impressions of it. Again, my terrible card run, 10-5. My terrible run of terrible cards continues. 10-5. Jeez. Come on, give me something. Deuce Jack. Nope, not going to play Deuce Jack. No, sir. No, sir, I'm not. Okay. Let's see here. We got another one that comes to us from Gene Kelly, who writes, I can't get over Shazam being a completely different person than younger Billy. Makes no sense. You're supposed to get more mature with age, not dumb. I don't know what it is you're saying. Remember, he is the exact same person. He's like, when Billy transforms into the physical form of Shazam, he doesn't 9-10 spades. Hold on a second. I like this. I like these little hands. I'll call the 50 raise. Maybe I can actually hit a flop this time. Give me something here, guys. Ugh. Bottom pair. Ugh. Yeah, I can't call that. Jeez. Awful night. Awful night. Okay. Remember, he's the exact same guy. He doesn't suddenly get smarter or more mature when he transforms. He just changes physical bodies. And he gets the powers and all that kind of stuff. But it's nothing more than that. It's the same kid. He's the exact same kid. And personally, I thought Zach Levi, and I can't remember the name of the kid who plays the young version of Billy. But I thought they did a really good job of acting like each other in it. I mean, that's just me. I mean, obviously it didn't work as well for you, and I respect that. That's great. But yeah, for me, I thought it worked really well. And particularly Zach. Like when he was I just thought it worked well. Listen, but you got to understand too, I absolutely deeply love that Shazam movie. It is probably my probably my second favorite DCEU film. My favorite, obviously, is Man of Steel, obviously. But I think that Shazam movie just might be my second favorite DCEU movie. I like it that much. And I like all the DCEU movies other than Birds of Prey. I didn't like Birds of Prey. That's the first DCEU film I didn't like. But yeah, I think Shazam is probably my second favorite. 3-2 offsuit. Come on. Anyway, thanks for sending that in, Gene. I appreciate you putting in your 2 cents worth there. All right. Mark Newman writes, wish you the best on the house. Cali prices are insane. Oh, they absolutely are. See, that's been the thing that's been killing me and Ann. Because, Ann and I both have good jobs. We both do pretty well. And yet I can't afford to own a home where I live. We live in Burbank. And to give you just like a little bit of an idea, a dumpy little 900 square foot house, 900 square feet, some dumpy little 900 square foot house that has some serious issues and problems, $750,000. Like $750,000. Most apartments are bigger than that. And so that's part of the reason why it's been such a struggle for Ann and I. And even when we did find those 2 houses that we put in offers on in one, no surprise, we found that there were major problems with the house. And we had to get out of the deals. It's been brutal. Another 2-3. Give me a break. And we had to get out of the deals. We finally decided a little while ago that we were going to start looking outside of LA. And maybe like an hour outside of LA. Because both Ann and I both work from home, right? Ann and I both work from home. And if we need to come into LA, well, we won't be terribly far. So we decided to start to look out. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'll tell you something. This house that we found right now, remember, 900 square foot house around here, 900 square feet, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, really dumpy, whatever, $750,000. The house we just agreed on, and we'll see how the inspections go, but is almost 2,000 square feet, in great shape, has a pool, a magnificent view. It overlooks a golf course. It's back, the backyard has a pool and a deck that overlooks a golf course. With trees and green, and it's beautiful. And that was $200,000 cheaper than the beat up 900 square foot house in this area. Twice the size, 3 times as good, and it was like $200,000 cheaper. And it was like, okay, that's something we might be able to work with. So, yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. But when the thing is, living in LA, it is really expensive. It's really expensive to rent, Oh, look at that. I actually got a hand. Ace Jack. I think this might be the best hand I've had since this whole damn thing started. I'm going to raise. Because I'm convinced I probably have the best hand right now. We'll see how the flop treats me. And the flop screwed me. Queen is totally in this guy's range. Well, now I've got the nut flush draw. And a straight draw. We'll see what happens here. And I got the flush. I'm going to check to see if he'll bet. Because if I bet and he doesn't have anything, let's see if he tries to cheat me. No, he didn't. He wasn't going to call anyway. He only had Jack 6. Guys, it happened. It took 45 minutes of me playing, but I won my first hand tonight. I won my first hand tonight. Yeehaw! Yeehaw, my first hand. I'm going to fold this ace 5, though. That doesn't look appealing at all. Anyway, What were we talking about? Oh yeah, so the house. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. So, but there is sanity in the housing prices if you are willing to go a little bit outside of town, which I'm sure is probably the same of every major metropolitan area. But the further you go outside of the main major city, the prices get more reasonable. And so the thing is, in here, like, I'll tell you what I spend on rent. All right, I'll tell you what I spend on rent. And we don't rent any kind of a mansion here. Okay, we rent a 2-bedroom place, $3,000 a month. Sorry, our rent went up recently, $3,100 a month for rent. So it actually, I like this hand. Let's see what happens here. One collar. Of course an ace flops. Okay, I've got a straight draw if they can put out a 10. Okay, so I got nothing. I just got to hope he has nothing too. If he has nothing, maybe I win the hand. And I can't call. I got nothing. Not a bad starting hand. Went to shit. Anyway. Yeah, so when I used to work in real estate law. Like you guys know, I used to work in law. And one of my very first jobs was I was a paralegal in a real estate law firm. And so I was just helping people do real estate deals all day. And I came to realize, holy crap, when you really do the math, sometimes renting is actually better than owning. I mean, it just kind of is. Sometimes renting is better than owning. But when you live in an area where the rents are as high as they are here, then no, buying actually becomes a more attractive option. And that's why we're looking at buying. All right, let's move on here. Next one, we've got Sean Shackelford, who writes, did you know there's a Netflix original movie directed by Orson Welles? Paul Greengrass has as one. I didn't realize a Netflix original movie directed by Orson Welles. I'm not quite sure how that's possible, but I would have to go all that. Paul Greengrass, yes. I know about the Paul Greengrass one, but, Jack Queen. Oh, there's only like 3 players at the table. Well, at least I can bet. I'm going to have to get off this table and get into a different table because there's just not enough players here. Okay, I'll wait for the next hand that I fold, then I'll jump onto a different table. All right, I'm going to fold this hand. I'm going to leave the table, go into a slightly higher stake table. And there we go. Okay. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Anyway, but I did not know that. Okay, I gotta now look into that. Now you've made me curious, Sean. I'm gonna have to go in and look into that. See what's this whole deal with an Orson Welles one. I will go and look into that now because you've raised my curiosity. All right, AJ writes, who would you cast as Poison Ivy if they ever put her in the DCU? My choice would be Ana de Armas. I never do X actor in X role questions. I just don't, because, you know, for those of you who watch me for any period of time, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Whenever you ask me what actor should play X role, I will always say the same thing. I don't care. I don't care. All I care about is, do you get a good performer? That's all I care about. Do you get a good actor? Other than that, because here's the thing, you can say, and Ana de Armas is great. Ana de Armas is great. But you don't know, how do they write Poison Ivy? How do they write Poison Ivy? Is it a more somber, serious Poison Ivy like we get in the comic books? Is it more like, oh, look at that, finally, a big hand? Let's see what happens here. Or do they write Poison Ivy more like Bell's Poison Ivy in the Harley Quinn show? Or, I mean, it all depends. And depending on how they write the Poison Ivy, which you don't know because you and I haven't read the scripts, Ana de Armas may be the worst choice possible. She could be the absolute worst choice, depending on how they write the character. Because remember, they're not going to make the character to fit the actor. That's not how it works, right? They get the actor who fits the character. And unless you read the script and know exactly what they're going for the character, you just don't know who's a good fit or not. You never know who's a good fit for the characters. That's why I always just say, just get a talented actor or actress. I'll leave it up to the filmmakers and I'll leave it up to the casting people because they know the script and they know who might be the best fit. So all I'll care about is if it's a good performer. Anna de Armas is a great actress. I really like her. But is she right for a Poison Ivy? I mean, there's just no way to know that because you just don't know what kind of Poison Ivy they'd be writing. So that's the big thing there. But she is a great actress, AJ, no doubt about it. I like her a lot. Josu Lopez writes, have you seen the Netflix show Troll Hunters by Guillermo del Toro and DreamWorks? I binged the whole thing. Really surprised how much I liked it. No, but I want to watch it. My wife Ann watched the whole thing, I think. I think Ann already went through the whole thing. And she liked it. I know Rob liked it. And I have always planned on watching it right from the first preview they put out. But I just never got around to watching it. So I do want to see it. It is on my queue, but I have not watched it yet. I am still very... it's 2-6, but I'm the big blind, so I'm already in. Middle pair. I could throw a bet at this. If nobody's got an 8, I might be in okay shape here. Or somebody could have, there could be straight draws, blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Well, no. Now I'm done. Now there is definitely a straight out there. And I am done. This guy's going to bet. I'm going to fold. Yep, there's his bet, and there's my fold. So that didn't go so well for me. Anyway, yes, I do want to see Troll Hunters, but I've not watched it yet. But I hear good things, man. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you for the recommendation on that. All right. Josie Reviews writes, I was not prepared how emotional Let Him Go is. Which one is Let Him Go? Hold a second. I can't remember. Oh, you're talking about the Kevin Costner one, right? Kevin Costner, Diane Lane? Yes, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane. That's the one. That's another one I want to watch. I got to see that one. I mean, and no, it is not Smallville, the prequel of the story of Ma and Pa Kent before they find Clark. It is a completely different thing. But yes, I want it. So I'll read you the synopsis. A retired sheriff and his wife, grieving over the death of their son, set out to find their only grandson. So basically, their son was married to this girl, and they had a kid. But then their son dies. So the girl and their grandchild, she eventually gets married to another guy. But it turns out, according to the trailers, this new guy that their daughter-in-law married is actually a supreme ass, really bad, and comes from a very bad family. And now they're trying to get their grandson back from that family. And the trailers have looked wonderful. I do want to watch it. Again, I think Kevin Costner, everybody knows how great Diane Lane is, but I think Kevin Costner is really underrated and underappreciated. And I do want to see this. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks for the recommendation on that. All right. Leech Live Reactions writes, could you see James Gunn directing a Star Wars movie? I don't know. Look, would he... Here's the thing. Everybody knows I'm actually a big fan of James Gunn. I like James Gunn very, very much. And I think he's a tremendously gifted director. Could I see him... it all depends on what's the movie. What's the movie? This is actually not a bad flop for me. I'm going to raise. This could go very badly for me, but I think I'm sitting pretty good. I think Monette might be... Ooh! Oh, okay, now flush draw got there, so I'm dead in the water. Not to mention if they had an 8. Yeah, I have no... I got to fold. Oh, and actually she had me out kicked, and that guy had a set, so I flopped top pair, and I was in last place. Top pair, and I was in last place. That describes my evening. Let's see here. Call 60. See what happens. I'll call 120. Okay, you see his thing. I can bet, because I have top pair, but somebody with 2 diamonds is probably going to call, and I guarantee you the next card is going to be a diamond, because that is how my evening is gone. Let's see what happens here. Oh, are they all going to fold? Come on, Monette, fold. Hey! Second hand won. I won my second hand for the evening. Hooray! Hooray! All right. Let's see. I'm going to try that. Okay. Anyway, where am I? See, again, it depends on the kind. But look, James Gunn, he's just a good storyteller. Oh, I flopped a flush draw, a straight draw. Okay, I'm going to bet this, see if I can get everybody to fold. If not, I have a lot of outs. So I've got several straight draws here and a flush draw. So I'd like everybody to fold. Okay, somebody called. I'm okay with somebody calling. That ace is bad for me. Because somebody could have called with ace jack, ace queen, like when I bet. Now I've got second pair. I'll check. If he checks back, I probably win. Yes. He had 8-9. He also had a straight draw. He had an up and down straight draw. But I had it just a little bit better. All right. Hey, look at that. 2 hands in a row. Holy shit. I won 2 hands in a row. Anyway. So I don't know. It depends with James Gunn. It depends. But again, like actors, my main thing is, should X director direct X movie? The main question I ask is it a talented director? That's all I really care about. Is it a talented director? And if it's a talented director, and, you know, James Gunn is a greatly talented director, then yeah. Then I'll be down for it. Then I'd be down for it, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, let's go. Next up, we've got Dan Ketchum, who writes, I have the Campea and SpaceX Dragon 2 docking tabs app at the same time. Oh yeah, that's going on. The SpaceX thing is docking with the space station tonight, isn't it? I totally forgot about that. It's good that you've got me and one of the, maybe a pivotal moment in human history, also going on, depending, like, you know, SpaceX, they've got some grand ambitions, man. Like, they want to colonize Mars. They want to colonize Mars. All right, this is a terrible hand. But I was big blind this time. I didn't call this. So we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, I totally forgot that was tonight. But I'm glad you're joining us, Dan, and I'm just going to check fold here. I'm glad you're joining us tonight, Dan. I hope you're doing good, man. All right, Randy Pena just sends in a super chat to be supportive. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that, man. Bryce Evans writes, hey, John, love the show. Thank you so much. New news, the Creed 2 director is doing a new Transformers flick. I have not heard that yet. That certainly wasn't news, you know, an hour or two ago. Do I call? Yeah, I'm already in for 30. I'm the small blind. I'll top it up. Let me see what happens here. If both these guys call, I'll call too. All right, well, now it's 60 million to win. 300 and 400 million. Yeah, I'll call. And look at that top pair. I'm going to check it, though. And I'll call a bet. Ooh, 480s. Yeah, see, there's a straight out there. There's flush draws out there. I'm going to get out of the hand. Yeah, whatever. Did not know that. I'll have to go look into that. Look, again, I'm completely in the dark here. That wasn't news. That was out the last time I checked my news feed a couple hours ago. So I will have to go and check that out. Probably something we'll have to talk about on the show tomorrow. Okay, let's see. What is next? Next up, I'm going to not play this hand. Next up, we've got 24 Savage writes, did you see the hops? I don't know what D-hops is. Sorry, 24 Savage. Ben Rayner writes, harder to watch. Michael break up with Pam's mom. Oh God, that was so rough. That was so rough. Or when he leave breakup message for Jan. Oh no, the Pam's mom one. That was the worst because they were out at a was it a because Michael was dating Pam's mom and they went out together with Pam. Oh yeah, that was the most uncomfortable one. That was the most uncomfortable one. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that whole episode, just as the realization starts to wash over Michael about Pam's mom's age. Because he was totally into the relationship before he really started to grapple with the age of Pam's mom. And then he kind of became a jerk about it, right? But anyway, yeah. Breaking up with Pam's mom, that to me was the worst one. That was the worst one, Ben. All right, next up, David Goldstein writes, are you no longer moving to Seattle? No, we're not moving to Seattle anymore. And I talked about that a while ago. So for those of you who don't know what David's talking about, before the pandemic, my wife Ann accepted, she moved on from Hasbro and she accepted a senior job at Amazon. And it was right at the beginning stages of the pandemic, right? And so our plan was that we were going to move to Seattle because that's where Amazon's headquarters were. And, we told, we announced to everybody we were going to be moving to Seattle. I work from home, so it's cool. And we were going to move to Seattle. Well, as the pandemic stretched on, originally, Amazon told everybody, the offices are going to be closed for the next month or two. Okay. Then it was going to be the offices are going to be closed till October. And then it was going to be you don't have to come into work into the office until 2022. So it's it just became obvious that, okay, Anne gets to work from home, period. So since she gets to work from home, there was no need for us to move to Seattle. So, and Anne's mom lives about an hour from us. Actually, the new house we're looking at is going to be pretty close to where Anne's mom, where my mother-in-law, Anne's mom lives. And as the pandemic wore on more and more and more, and you see about all these people getting sick and all these people dying, it became more and more important to us to not move further away from her mom. Anne's dad, my father-in-law, passed away a couple of years ago. And, so now there's Anne's mom. And so Anne and I just kind of felt like, do we really want to move far away from your mom? And we thought, not really, no. And so anyway, yeah, it all became kind of a moot point because, she doesn't have to work in the offices. She gets to work from home. So anyway, no, that made it so no, we're not going to be moving to Seattle. So there's that. But thanks for asking, David. All right, next up, Spencer Smothers. I'm not going to play 6-3. Spencer Smothers writes, I'm really excited for Dexter. Me too, man. Me too. I'm hoping it's about Dexter returning and realizing he couldn't save his son from developing his own dark passenger. I don't. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, Spencer. Fans get themselves in trouble when they decide what they want the next thing to be about. Right? I mean, look, I've heard other conversations from people thinking it could revolve around something like that. I personally really hope they don't. I really personally hope they don't go in that direction. That's just me personally. But I loved Dexter. I even loved the final season. I just didn't like the final episode. I just didn't like how Dexter concluded. That's the best way for me to put it. I didn't like how Dexter concluded. Is that a good way to say it? I think that's a good way to say it. I didn't like the way it concluded. But overall, I mean, I liked it very much, including the last season. But I loved many of the seasons, and I can't wait. I cannot wait for them to get back to this. And what's Michael C. Hall Michael C. Hall is the guy who plays Dexter. Speaking of The Crown, he was actually in The Crown, season 1 or season 2, I can't remember, but he was in The Crown because I think didn't he play John F. Kennedy in The Crown? I think Michael C. Hall played. Was it Michael C. Hall? Is that his name, Michael C. Hall? I can't remember for the life of me if it was Michael C. Hall or something else, but at any rate, I cannot wait for them to bring this back. It's gonna be great. I cannot wait, and I just don't. I don't really have any predetermined or pre-scripted out way that I think the show will or should go. I'm just happy to see it come back under any circumstances. All right, let's see. Next up, we got Mike Malkowitz. Nice. I'm sure I'm butchering your name, Mike. Forgive me. Malkowitz, I think. Right. Love the Play and Chat videos. Keep them coming. Oh, thanks so much, man. Yeah, I enjoy doing. I just haven't had a lot of time to just sit down and do Play and Chats. By the way, for those of you who follow World of Warcraft at all, I just recently heard about the new update where they like reset it all, that it's going to be max 60. They've squished all the leveling now, and apparently it's a much cleaner experience. I'm going to have to reload up I haven't played World of Warcraft since the Battle for Azeroth upgrade. I hated the Battle for Azeroth. Hated the Battle for Azeroth upgrade. I just didn't like it at all. And I haven't played it since, so it's been a while since I played a World of Warcraft, but I'm thinking about loading it back up again. Maybe I'll do some more playing chats with that. All right, 8-6, not going to play that. All right, Topher Rocks writes, is Travis Knight doing Bumblebee 2? He did such a great job on the first. First of all, they haven't even officially said they're doing Bumblebee 2. They've talked about doing another Bumblebee movie. They've publicly talked about when we do another, but as of right now, there hasn't been any big green light on them even, which confounds me. Look, I know the first Bumblebee wasn't a massive blockbuster hit, but it made money, and it was the best Transformers movie since the original Transformers. It was great. I thought Travis Knight, what he did on that movie, I thought was great. So, yeah, man, I hope they do. I hope they do it, and if they do it, I really hope Travis Knight comes back, because Travis Knight did a fantastic job. Like, he did just a fantastic job on that film, and I would like to see him come back again. So here's hoping, Topher Rocks. David Goldstein writes, will you do a spoiler review of the Supernatural finale? I will. I don't know if I will do a spoiler review per se, as much as I will do a, just a video of wrapping up Supernatural, because I've watched this show for like 10 years. I've watched it for like 10 years. And I will probably do a video just talking about the finale. Oh, 720, no. I will probably, just do a wrap up of the series. I mean, there's no way I can't. I just like Supernatural so much, which is really weird because I just watched the last episode, and I mean, maybe I could have swore that was the finale. That last episode totally played like a finale. So I'm like, are you sure there's another episode after this? Are you sure that there's another episode after this? So, I mean, I don't know. Oh, that's a good flop for me. So I'm going to bet. Hopefully, maybe one of these guys has like one big club. No, they didn't. All right. That's fine. So yeah, I'll probably have to do a video. Yeah, I can't see me not doing a video about the finale of Supernatural. Maybe on Friday I'll do, but I can't on Friday because Friday's when Ann and I do our Mandalorian spoiler review. So I don't know. We'll see. I might win this hand with King High. Nope, they both had twos. Oh well. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thanks for that, David. Next up, EJ Aikman writes, I've never heard your thoughts on Logan's Run. I just watched the original Blade Runner for the first time, and I know your thoughts on that. Listen, here's the thing about Logan's Run. The idea, I mean, is kind of pivotal to sci-fi, right? I love the story of Logan's Run. And I know for a long time, what's his name? Bryan Singer was trying to develop another Logan's Run. Bryan Singer was trying to get a Logan's Run reboot, remake, reimagining, whatever, up and running. Never happened. Listen, I'm more of a fan of the story than I am of the original movie. I'll be honest with you. I'm just being real. I know Logan's Run is a very special place in a lot of people's hearts. I love the story, right? I love the story. I'm not a big fan of the original. This guy, yeah, there's that. And of course, you know my feelings on Blade Runner, of course. Okay, let's see. Next up, we've got Samuel Dooley, who writes, thoughts on if you dig the idea of Norman Osborn showing up in the MCU and secretly being a Skrull, using Iron Man tech, trying to fill Tony. I honestly, man, the whole idea of getting into specific plot points and plot details. Okay, what do you think about this guy doing this? And then he'll say to somebody this, and then them doing this. I don't know, whatever. It all comes down to execution. You can come up with the greatest concept for a movie in the world. If you don't have great execution, it won't mean anything. Hold on a second, pocket checks. You can also have a mediocre concept for a movie, but if you do great execution, go all in on this. I folded. I thought if you can have a mediocre concept, and it's all about execution. So I normally don't get very excited or turned off terribly much by specifics. Oh, look at that, Kings. Now he's going to think I'm bluffing because I raised them all in. He's now going to think I'm just bluffing. Now just don't flop. Please don't flop an ace. Oh, look at that. A king. I will check. Shit, now there's a diamond draw out there. All in. There we go. That worked out. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, even though I've only won like 5 hands in an hour and 15 minutes, in one hand, I've like added 5 billion to my stack in one hand. That's poker. That is poker. I can lose 40 hands and win 4, and then win one hand that like blows away everything else I did all night. So yeah, I'll be honest with you, Samuel. I don't know. I mean, it's something that could happen in a movie, and it would all depend on how would that thing be executed. That's really what it comes down to. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I don't think you're going to see a Norman Osborn. I don't think you're going to see Norman Osborn in the MCU. But I mean, it all depends on what this is an interesting hand. Okay, now it's not so interesting. It's not a great hand for me. Just an ace. Nah. I got a straight, but it's the low end. Yeah, and he had the high end. It's a good thing I didn't bet. I thought I've got the 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen. I got a straight, but I probably shouldn't bet just in case he's got that king. Had that king. Okay. Let's see. What's next? Randy Pena writes, Matrix 4. Oh, hold on a second. What's going on? I'm going to just get out of the hand. Matrix 4 trailers coming before year's end. They just finished filming. I waited 18 years for this movie. I honestly can't wait for Matrix 4. Listen, I know I'm the odd man out here. I totally know I'm the odd man out. I don't care about Matrix 4. I know a lot of people do, and that's great. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. As Chris Carr would say, I'm not trying to yuck on anybody's yum. But I just see, here's the thing with me. I don't see any reason to be excited for Matrix 4. Like, why would I be excited for Matrix 4? Right? The first Matrix was great. I mean, all-time kind of great. The movies steadily declined in quality. A lot of people didn't like Matrix 2. I still liked Matrix 2. A lot of people don't, but I still like Matrix 2. But Matrix 3, most people would agree Matrix 3 was just not good, right? So you had this fabulous first movie, and then it declined in quality. And then after that, honestly, the Wachowskis, with a couple of exceptions, honestly, over the past 15, 20 years, have put out some of the worst cinema I've seen, including Jupiter Ascending, which I honestly feel Jupiter Ascending is one of the 10 worst wide-release big Hollywood films ever made in Hollywood history. Like, it's that bad. It's atrocious. So I thought the Matrix series declined in quality, and then after that, I have not been a fan of the Wachowskis' work. So now here we are 20 plus years after the first Matrix comes out. And it's been, to me, 20 plus years since they made a really good movie. And the series they did declined in quality. And then I really didn't like anything else they did after that. So why would I be excited for a new Matrix right now? Now, don't get me wrong. I am curious to see it. I will definitely go and watch it. Absolutely. And I will hope that it's awesome. But yeah, like I said, as of right now, I don't see any compelling arguments about why I would be even remotely interested. There's nothing there to be remotely interested in for me. So I'll hope it's good. Like I hope every movie I go and pay money to see is good. But I just don't have a lot of hope. I hope for your sake and for mine, Randy, that it turns out awesome, though. Let's hope that it turns out awesome. Right, AJ writes, random question. What are your thoughts on the film Juno? I love Juno. Love Juno. Reitman directed that. And hold on a second. Let me just pull up something here. I'm going to call a 60 mil because of pocket twos. You never know. I might get lucky and hit a 2, and I did not hit a 2. So there you go. Anyway, Jason Reitman directed it, and like that kind of set him up. And then he went on and did films like Up in the Air, which was absolutely fantastic. Thank You for Smoking. Things like terrific. It put Ellen Page on the map. Michael Cera. I'm not a big Michael Cera fan. I like Michael Cera. Obviously, I love Jennifer Garner, Jason Bateman, Allison Janney. Oh my God. I wasn't paying attention. And I just accidentally folded a straight. That guy had like 2 pair. I would have won that hand. I wasn't paying enough attention. Okay, pocket nines. I'm going to put in a little raise here for pocket nines. Let's see what happens. Now, this guy beside me, he's probably going to call. Oh, he didn't. King, okay. There's only 3 other kings in the deck. I'm assuming he didn't call 210 million with a 3. Shit. Okay, I'll call. Maybe he's got a diamond draw. Oh, he had 10s. Oh, he had 10s. I knew he didn't have a king or a 3. All right. Well done. That was close. Okay, anyway. That was a good hand. Yes, I love Juno. I really do. I think that's... Now, I remember it was nominated for Best Picture, I believe, and it won Diablo Cody, who I was really thrilled to meet. We actually had Diablo Cody come into studio one day, and I got to sit and actually do a one-on-one with Diablo Cody. She actually won the Academy Award for Best Screenplay for Juno, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I adore it, man. I adore that movie. I really do. Okay, next up. What do we got? Mike Malkowitz writes, John, are you getting a PS5? Got to get that new Harry Potter game. Yes, I am going to get a PS5. I have not got one yet. I'm not going to order. Like, I'm definitely not going to buy one off the scalpers. But I am going to get one. Anne wants to get it. I know she wants to play that. Potter game for sure. But at Potter, I believe Potter is not. Oh, this is an interesting flop. I believe Potter is not a PS5 exclusive. I think Potter is going to be on other game consoles as well. Let's see what happens here. Well, now I've got a straight draw and a flush draw. Any diamond, any 4, any 9. But the question is, do I call $1 billion? But that makes $3 billion. Okay, I'll call it. I shouldn't. And I missed. I totally shouldn't have called that. I totally shouldn't have called that. That was stupid of me to call. But I was in really good shape. I mean, whatever. The odds were low. I shouldn't have called, but whatever. I did. But so anyway, yes, I will get a PS5. I'm probably just going to wait a little bit, though. I'm going to wait till the stocks are good. Like they're all fully stocked and I'll just probably run in and grab one. I'm not going to get the one with the disk drive because there's no need to have one with the disk drive. So I probably won't do that. All right, let's see. Leech Live Reactions writes, what's your favorite indie theater? Mine is Alamo Drafthouse. Alamo Drafthouse isn't an indie theater. Alamo Drafthouse is a big chain. It is a big corporate chain. It's not a little indie theater. Like, so I would not count that. My favorite little indie theater was actually in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. In this little mall, and it had like, it would play like $3 weekday matinees. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, and it was back when I was working at a visual effects company, and we would often take staff meetings. That was our way of saying, hey, let's take a long lunch and run over to this little indie cinema they had in this mall and go watch a movie. Normally it was Phantom Menace. We went to go see Phantom Menace many times because we worked in visual effects when that was out. But that was my favorite little indie cinema. That was my absolute favorite little indie cinema. All right, let's see. Benny Canuck writes, hey, John, I haven't watched in a while. Are you and Ann still moving to Seattle? Well, obviously, we just covered that a little while ago. And by the way, a lot of people, when they write Ann, they put the E on the end. Ann is not spelt with an E. Ann is just A-N-N, just so everybody knows. It's not Ann with an E like Anne of Green Gables. So, yeah. So, anyway, no, we already went into that a little bit earlier. We are not moving to Seattle. Ann gets to work from home, so because of the pandemic, and so there was no need for us to move to Seattle. And, what a terrible flop for me. What a terrible flop. All right. Anyway, thanks for that, Benny. Next up, 24 Savage writes, meant to say, did you see that DeAndre Hopkins sketch? Is that the one at the end of the game, the Hail Mary up into the end zone? I can't remember if that was the one-handed catch fade, or was it the one with the Hail Mary at the end of the game in the end zone? I can't remember. Let me just look this up. I got to fold this. Let me just see which one it was. Was it the end of the Cardinals game? Yeah. Bills Cardinals. That was stupid. How? So they heave up a Hail Mary. First of all, he should have been sacked. The quarterback totally should have been sacked. Right? Totally should have been sacked. And he got away. He slipped away from the sack, then heaved it up. He had 3 defenders on him in the end zone. 3 defenders on him in the end zone. And somehow, some way, the ball eluded all the other guys. Oh, what a terrible flop for Pocket Sevens. The ball eludes all the other guys and goes into his hands. I mean, it was just like one of the most psychotically crazy endings to a game I've seen in a long time. And I like the Bills, but I mean, it was a hoot to see that. It was a hoot to see that. Okay. Let's see, where are we at here? That was 24 Savage. Next up, King Tannic writes, do you still feel the same about Last of Us 2? For me, it's a masterpiece and the second best thing of the year after anime movie Weathering with You. Yeah, I still do. I think Last of Us 2 is an absolute unmitigated masterpiece of storytelling. It's so good that, I mean, listen, I'm one of these guys that I always tell myself and tell other film fans, don't make excuses for why other people don't like the things you like. You know, like when we do it all the time, myself included, we all do this as film fans all the time. Oh, you didn't like this movie that I love? Well, you just didn't get it. Oh, you didn't like this movie I love? Well, you're biased. Movie fans always make up excuses when somebody else doesn't like a movie that they like. We all do it, and we've all got to stop. And we all catch ourselves doing it. So I want to be very careful not to fall into it. But the thing is, Last of Us 2 is so good, I can't help but wonder what some people's motivations are for crapping on it so much. Because it's just ridiculously bloody brilliant. Like from a pure storytelling point of view. And I'm not a hardcore Last of Us guy. But from a pure storytelling point of view, that thing is just genius. It's absolutely brilliant and genius. And King Tannic, I still feel the same way about it. I really do. All right. Let's see. Next up, we got Guy from King's Highway writes, can you say hi, Daisy? Hi, Daisy. I don't know who I'm saying hi to, but I will definitely say hi, Daisy. Thanks for sending that in, Guy. Harrison Ball writes, Minnesota got a shot at the playoffs after tonight's win. I have not seen the game, but now I know the result of the game. let me just check out. 1 second here. Let me see the score here. Oh, they beat Chicago. Good on them. You know, it's I like Kirk Cousins. I do. I like Kirk Cousins. I also like Nick Foles very much. I hope he does well, but I like Kirk Cousins. Seriously, Minnesota Viking is the best team in the NFL right now with a losing record. I really think that. I think the Vikings have lost a number of very, very close games. They have lost some games they should have won. I think they are the best team in the NFL that currently has a losing record. But you know, making the playoffs, they're in a position right now where they need some bad things to happen with some other people, right? For them to get in. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Who was that? Was that Harrison Ball? Hold a second. That was Harrison Ball. All right. Last question. I didn't even realize it's already been an hour and a half. It's already been an hour and a half. So we're going to wrap this thing up here at these also Joshua Klein just sent one in really quick. So I'll just get these last two questions in here, guys. And I'll play this last hand. Let's see. Daniel Vasquez writes, hey, John, I'm excited for The Croods. That makes one of us. A new age, since I love the first film, but my state, New Mexico, won't open theaters. Are you excited? No, I'd be lying to you if I said I was excited for The Croods. But I will say this. I think the trailer for the new Croods with the Betterman is actually a pretty good trailer. I wasn't big on the first Croods movie, to be honest with you. But, and I'm not excited about the new Croods movie. But the trailer's pretty good. And so am I excited for it? No. Am I going to watch it? Yes. Because I think the trailer got me on board for it. So let's see how it turns out. All right, Joshua Klein writes, what's your favorite music biopic? Mine's Love and Mercy. Love and Mercy is fantastic. With a couple of absolutely dynamic performances in it. It's Probably Walk the Line. Probably Walk the Line might be my favorite music biopic. I mean, I might not be thinking, I might be forgetting one or two, but I might have to say Walk the Line. Walk the Line is probably the one that is the one that stands out to me the most. It's the one that when I think of music biopics, it's the one that comes to mind more instantaneously, like more quickly. Like that's the one that I think of. So yeah, I'm gonna say Walk the Line. But then again, I might be forgetting one that, like, as 5 minutes after we get done with this video, I might go, oh my God, I totally forgot this one. So that might happen. I don't know. We'll see. All right. And last one, EJ Aikman writes, haven't seen Logan's Run. Just wondered. Next up is 2049. I'm not quite sure. What are we talking about with 2049? What's that again? Anyway, I'm not really sure. But anyway, thanks for writing that in, EJ. All right, guys. That will do it for this little play and chat. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with me, guys, tonight, and just hanging out as I play some online poker. At the end of the day, I actually ended up because of that one hand. Because of that one hand, I ended up for the evening. So I'll take that as a win. Thank you very much. I will take that as a win. Guys, don't forget the John Campea Show tomorrow, unless for some reason something comes up at the house that I have to go and attend to. But for now, we've got a John Campea Show tomorrow. I hope you guys will join us. That'll do it for me for now, guys. Thanks for being here. My name's John Campea, and until next time, my friends, bye-bye.